It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Fierce Beer, and it's a can of their Tart Night Sour Black IPA, coming in at 7% ABV. I think this is going to be really interesting. A sour black IPA. Should we get it open into a glass, see what we get? Nice bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer in the glass then. Look at the colour. Of course, black IPA. We got a 2 to 3 finger tan coloured head, jet black beer in the glass. If I'm honest, it looks like an imperial stout to me. Just the consistency of it, just how thick it is, the head. It looks really good. Really good. I'm quite interested in this. The tan coloured head gives an indication that there's quite a lot of roasted malt in this beer. Yeah, it's interesting because it's a black IPA, and the whole story of a black IPA used to be about you're drinking a golden, or you think you're drinking a golden IPA with lots of hops, and then you open your eyes and it's black. And it's like this mysterious style of beer. You think it's golden, but it's black. One of the first breweries to brew a black IPA, I think, was Stone, with their Sublimely Self-Righteous. They don't make it anymore, but that was the one of the first black IPAs. That was terrific. I remember drinking that at the Great British Beer Festival, thinking, "Wow, they've caught the magic. They put the magic in the can." Aroma. Yeah, lots of roasted malt. It's a little bit like Bisto gravy, but then you get that. You can't smell sourness, but then again you kind of can, because you know, if you've had a few sour beers, you know what it's going to kind of smell like because you've tasted it before. And I'm getting that in this beer. You can almost smell the sourness. Quite hoppy too. There's quite a lot of hops in this beer. Interesting stuff. I want to get the rest of the can in, and then we'll get into the taste. Here we go. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, blimey. Oh. Oh, where do I start with this? That's mental. That is absolutely mental. Stone the crows. Stone the crows. I like mental. I tell you, you really don't know. You're drinking the beer and you're like, whoa, there's like loads of sourness. Then there's loads of roasted malt. And then there's loads of hops. And then it's like blackcurranty and sourness and hoppy and chocolate, coffee, caramel. There's so much going on. So much going on. That is a mental, pardon me, mental beer. Where do I put it? Here. Blimey. So sour. So sour. But to carry the beer, to carry that sourness over something that's rich and malty and black IPA-ish, it had to be incredibly sour. It had to be more sour than your regular sour beer. It had to be another level to push past the roasted malt, the bitterness from the hops, the flavour from the hops. To make this beer, as I haven't read the back of the can yet, to make it as mental as they possibly could, they just soured the bejesus out of it. They really have. Wow. And for 7% ABV, it's really rather drinkable. I was looking at it, I was thinking, God, I was saying earlier on, wasn't I, how it looked like an imperial stout. It was just big and thick and gloopy, and I was thinking, I'm going to be honest, I was thinking this is not going to work. This can't possibly work. But fair play to Fierce Beer. They've really gone out and made this work. They've really put a lot of thought into this beer. Tart Night Sour Black IPA. Incredible. Absolutely incredible beer. Right, what do they say? Tart Night is a great take on our regular Black IPA night shift, which we kettle soured before throwing a massive haul of dry hops in. Roasty, juicy, hoppy, sour. It can't possibly work. Can it? Can it? So they're thinking the same thing. We're going to have a go at this. Can it work? It really has. It really has. If I was very skeptical. You could see I was skeptical. If you said to me, you're going to brew a collaboration beer with a brewery and they're going to make a sour black IPA at 7% ABV, I would have said no. I don't want to brew that collaboration beer. I don't think it would work. It's off the table. Let's try and come up with something else. But again, fair play to Fierce Beer. They went out and they've had a go at this, and they've absolutely nailed it. There's fine move. What am I trying to say? There's not much movement for error here when you're brewing. There's very fine margins here of error. Too much roasted malt, it's going to be too much like a stout. It's going to be too bitter. If it's not sour enough, you're not going to be able to want to call it a sour beer. And then if you don't put enough hops in, you're not going to be able to call it a black IPA. This is sour, slightly roasty, and hoppy. Insane beer. Let's rate it. Oh, it's still sour. Whoa. Still really sour. That is incredible. I think that is an incredible, mind-bending, boggling, the reason why we all love craft beer. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.